Yo, what is up, proxies? You have finally reached a point where you're going to be able to choose your free 5-star agent from the standard banner. Now, I know this can be very overwhelming because there are actually 6 different options you can currently go with. So we will be going over every single unit that is available for you to choose so we can get to your best option. So without wasting too much time, let's jump right into it. So for our first character, we got Grace Howard from Bellabog Industries, and she is an electrical anomaly character. Now, Grace is one of my favorites on this list, mainly because she is an anomaly, and for the most part, most anomaly characters can have lots of off-field presence while being extremely valuable at the same time. This is very huge if you are trying to deal more overall damage with your main on-fielder. I promise I don't try and collect every single anomaly character or anything like that. Anyways, Grace excels at applying electric anomalies with their skills, so pairing her up with other electric type characters like Ambi, Rina, Seth, Anton, or Ching-Yi, who can be substituted for Ambi as a stun character, is for the most part ideal for Grace. Now, it is mainly great to pair her up with other electric agents so that way you can maximize Grace's full value by using her as an off-field, as we mentioned before. However, Grace is also a very great character to pair up with other anomaly agents like Jane Doe and Burness. I also like how Grace flips and has a lot of acrobatic abilities, which is a plus, making her character very evasive. Grace's EX special has one of the lowest energy costs in the game, barely taking anything away from her character, so she will have her EX special more times than other characters you can possibly use in this game. I also like to bring up all the different characters you can pair up with Grace. There are a total of 7 electric characters in Zenless Zone 0 as of update 1.3. Now, I mention this because that means there is a lot of potential characters you can pair up with Grace to help build off her off-field presence. Now, of course, we can't just skip over the Mindscape cinemas. I know lots of you guys may be thinking about getting duplicates of some characters over having more units on your account. Now, this could be worth it, so let's dive into Grace's Mindscapes. For Mindscape 1 or Recharge Chamber, other allies in your squad will gain extra energy based off every 4th attack from Grace, which is actually pretty good, so you can get X specials more quicker between all your characters. Now, for Grace's second Mindscape or Lightning Piercer, when using Grace's grenade during a basic attack, special attack, or X special, the target's electric resistance is reduced by 8.5%, lasting for 8 seconds. This would be insanely good for endgame contents like Shiyu Defense if you plan on rocking an all-electric team like we were mentioning before. I also feel for the most part in the standard banner, I would personally want more characters over anything after Mindscape 2, mainly because after the first 2 Mindscapes, it would just buff personal stats on that character, and I would want to save that more for limited banner characters that I want to put more investing into, if I will ever get them that far, that is. Now, overall, I feel as if Grace is a great option unless if you plan on getting the new agent Yanagi in update 1.3, and that is because she is also an anomaly electric type character, and if you have 3 slots on your team and wasting 2 of them on electric anomalies wouldn't be ideal. Next in line, we got our electric support character from Victoria Housekeeping. Rina is a very good unit that you can pretty much fit in most team comps. This is mainly because of her pen ratio buff and applied shock duration that makes her a very versatile unit. With that said, her shock durations last from 10 seconds all the way to 13 seconds, and as well providing 10% electric damage to the team while there is a shocked enemy. Speaking of which, we did just go over Grace. If you happen to already have Grace as a unit, you must consider getting Rina, as they go hand in hand when it comes to applying shock, thus making them 2 very compatible teammates. And also, like I mentioned before, there's lots of electric type characters to go around, so there is many places for her to go if you want to build her around an electric type team. She can also be used outside of an electric team as well because of her 30% pen ratio to all team members, which will increase your entire team's damage significantly. Rina is also another character that has crazy movement, so if you are into being extremely fast, she soars through the skies with finesse and ease. Also, she is most likely the fastest character on the standard banner within Zenless Zone 0, but I do not have concrete proof of that because I'm not sure if she's faster than Grace, but for the most part, because she flies, I think she is. As for Rina's 2 pet Bangbu, they hang around the battlefield for a short amount of time after she casts abilities, giving Rina some off-field presence as well. Rina is a main option for you if you want to build her around an electric team, as I mentioned before, or if you did obtain Ellen, she plays off Ellen extremely well. However, there is another character on this list that actually pairs with Ellen better than Rina would and would be a better option for you that we will mention later on in this video. But for now, for Rina's first Mindscape, Dance Dust, Rina's Bangbu stay on field for an additional 5.5 seconds before returning to Rina, which is huge for her off-field presence. As for Rina's second Mindscape, Masters Paragon, it increases Rina's overall damage for 12 seconds off a switch-in, which can really come in handy because you are constantly switching her in to keep her Bangbu on the field. Now, third on this list, we got Koleda from Bellabog Industries. Koleda is a fire type character who applies stun to her enemies. Now, a really cool thing about Koleda that made me want her specifically is the fact that she ignores frames. What I mean by this is during specific parts of her basic attack combos, she ignores getting hit rather than you having to dodge so you do not take any damage in the middle of a combo, which is a pretty unique trait to have because most characters in Zenless Zone 0 will get interrupted and will get hit by that enemy. Mixing together Koleda's X special and her basic attack will grant you a significant amount of days, making her a very strong stun character. She's a very good selection for free-to-play players who are currently looking for a stun character other than Ambi, who is given to you at the beginning of the game. However, do be careful though, because I feel as if she'll be subjected to being a downfall, and I really hate using the word power creep because man, it really pains me when I use it. However, if you did obtain Xingyi or Caesar King or Lycaon, who we will be talking about later on this video, there's really no need for you to be looking this way at Koleda. Also, as we are heading more and more deeper into Zenless Zone 0 in general, there will be less room to actually be able to play Koleda over a stronger option for a support character. Koleda also works the best when built around fire-oriented teams or anybody who is a part of the Bellabog Industries faction, so she would pair really well with Soldier 11, Lucy, and Ben. You can also try pairing her up with Burnus, but I feel as if Burnus is better spent built around a stronger support unit like Caesar King. So realistically, it's really all dependent on how you build your teams and utilize the characters on your account. So, Koleda's first mind skip will increase the days dealt by 15% after enhanced basic attack or the second and fourth hit of Koleda's basic attack. However, I do not feel it is as valuable as her second mindscape, Kinetic Recovery, which helps Koleda recover 60 energy after an X special and can be triggered every 45 seconds. However, compared to other options on this list, I would strongly suggest looking into other options. Fourth on this list is Nekomata, which for me, I somehow lost my 50-50 on Burnus' banner, then went to go pull in the standard banner and got her mindscape 1. So I'm not particularly upset about losing the 50-50 besides the fact that I already have Jane Doe, and these two characters really do play alike. Nekomata is from the Cunning Hair Squad and is a physical type attack character, and as I just mentioned before with my specific experience with Jane Doe, I wouldn't personally go out of my way to obtain Nekomata if you do have Jane Doe. However, let's go over some of the good things about Nekomata that could potentially make her a strong option for your account. To start off, Nekomata is very good for free-to-play players as she is a part of the Cunning Hair Squad, making her very easy to pair around Ambi and Nicole, who work very well with her on the team. But the thing is, if we are talking about the 300 selector, this may not be something you are looking forward to, and that is mainly because you probably have obtained capable S tier units already. So if you are building your second team, maybe consider her as an option. I will say though, out of most characters on this list, Nekomata has a very fun playstyle, as Nekomata is mainly an on-fielder and will spend most of the time in your main team on the field. And she does excel the best when she's on the field, as she has a fast attacking and dodge based kit for those of you who enjoy a fast paced playstyle. Also, Nekomata's X special requires less energy than most characters, making it more available to deal more damage with her. And as for her Mindskip Cinema 1 Bird Hunter, when Nekomata deals damage from behind an enemy, she ignores 16% of the target's physical res, which becomes even better if the enemy is stunned, because then all the attacks are considered back attacks, and for the most part the Mindskip Cinema 1 does not disappoint. I also personally have her W engine as well that I obtained at the beginning of my Zenless Zone 0 journey, so I accidentally got a pretty decent build for my free-to-play account with Nekomata. As for Nekomata's Mindskip Cinema 2 Cat and Mouse, Nekomata's energy regeneration rate is increased by 25%, which sounds like it is pretty good, but for the most part you are clearing multiple enemies to show you defense, so it is not as strong as the first Mindscape. And me having M1 Nekomata, I will not be using my 300 selector for her Mindscape 2. Second to last on our list, we got Soldier 11 from the Obol Squad, also the only character from the Obol Squad as of update 1.3, which is pretty interesting that we have yet to see the other characters yet. Soldier 11 is a fire attack type character. Her passive abilities help her deal more free damage without you having to do much because she has a pretty simplistic playstyle. She's also very versatile when it comes to free to play and can work around most team comps that have an A-ranked agent in them. For example, she pairs well with characters like Lucy and Ben. I would also consider choosing Soldier 11 if for some reason you are a player that has Burnus and does not have Jane Doe to play around. You can pair Burnus with Soldier 11 to make a pretty good duo. As a matter of fact, because there is nobody in Obol Squad or really much fire units, I think this is a really good duo, if not the best, for Soldier 11. On that topic, Soldier 11 will deal 10% more fire damage when attacking stunned enemies, but that is only when another character on the squad shares the same attribute or they are a part of the Obol Squad. So as of right now, the best character is Bernice for her. So until there are more characters from Obol Squad, Soldier 11 is mainly a long-term investment, as she is only useful for those who want to build around fire teams. But on the other end of that double-edged sword, there's going to be way more units that come out, making Soldier 11's potential kind of plummet a bit. Soldier 11's Mindscape 1 Rapid Heat makes her energy recover to 80 off a switch-in if her energy is below 40, which is nice besides the fact that it only can trigger every 50 seconds, which is a pretty long time. Now as for her Mindscape 2 Scorching Convergence, when triggering fire suppression, basic attacks, dash attacks, and dodge counter, damage decreases by 3% up to 12 stacks lasting 15 seconds, with the duration of each stack being calculated separately, which is actually pretty good, but you would have to get her Mindscape 2. So you gotta ask yourself, is that even worth it for your account? Now on to the last but not least, Lycaon from Victoria Housekeeping. Lycaon is an ice attribute type agent who has amazing stun capabilities. Now Lycaon is a must-have if you got Ellen, so let's get that out of the way. If you pulled on the first limited banner and you have obtained Ellen, they are like best friends when it comes to synergies. Moving on, although Lycaon works incredibly well mainly with ice-focused teams, it does not stop him from working with other characters. So if you do not have Ellen, he's still a very good option option. And I'm trying to not be biased, but between him and Koleda, Lycaon definitely outshines Koleda by a far margin. Also, as I mentioned before earlier in the video, there are 2 characters from Victoria Housekeeping that is a part of the standard banner. That is Rina and Lycaon. So if you already have Rina, it would not hurt to add Lycaon to your account. Now, let's talk about his abilities. Lycaon's core ability applies 25% Ice Res Shred for 30 seconds for other ice characters to deal extra damage by an incredible amount, which is pretty OP if you do have Ellen. I also want to mention, since I have been yapping about the synergy with Ellen a lot, you can also think about long-term investment and wait for another DPS type of ice character that can pair up with Lycaon well. Also, Sokeku, who is an amazing A-ranked ice agent, pairs really well with Lycaon as his support. And the cool thing is, by the time you get your 300 selector, you should have at least 1 copy of Sokeku, as he is available to everyone free to play, because you do receive him at the beginning of the game. So there's that. So that makes Lycaon a beast of an option for free to play, no pun intended. Lycaon also has additional abilities, creating the stun multiplier from 150% to 185%, increasing your team's burst damage by an insane amount. With that said, in general, he deals an amazing amount of days with his charge basic attack combos, making his on-field presence very strong. So if you have yet to obtain a decent stun character, consider him one of your best options, especially if you skip Chingy or if you're still rocking Ambi as your main stun agent. His Mindscape 1 Full Moon Momentum increases his X special days by a total of 22% when he charges his X special to completion, which can be pretty handy at times. As for his Mindscape 2 energy feedback, it helps boost Lycaon's energy by 5 every time a chain attack or an enemy is stunned, which all in all is pretty okay. Now, with all that out of the way, there are definitely some stronger candidates over other characters, but at the end of the day, it really matters on what the current state of your account looks like. So I try to keep my opinions to myself as much as possible when creating this video to try to give you guys a better idea on what will be your best option, and obviously not mine. Whether it is better for you personally to add another strong unit to your team, or if it's better to get a duplicate of a current unit you already have. Now, I know I said I wouldn't give you guys my personal opinion, but you guys should just get Grace. Grace is the best option if I'm going to be honest. Of course, I'm just kidding. Select who you want to select, even if it's based off your favorite type of character. Remember, you're not in a competition with anybody. Well, that is all I have for this video. If you did learn something new or this video helped you, make sure you smash the subscribe button so you can find your way back to my channel. Leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That is all for now. Peace out, guys.